Hi, hello, this is Kaz and welcome back to Koppai Podcast, episode 33. I am one of your hosts, Kaz joined alongside Mr. Koppai himself, Zach Risk.
Pikachu.
Oh my gosh. We'll to get to that later. We'll to talk about that later. Most adorable song in the world. If you are watching this on YouTube, be sure just to go ahead. We give you permission, as long as you come back, pause the video, and go listen to the most adorable Pikachu song. I don't know how you find it online. I don't know what you search for. Pikachu song?
Pikachu Ketchup.
Pikachu Ketchup song. Would probably pull it up. Go ahead and go search for that, watch that, then come back here, because you'll be in a much better mood, and you'll be ready to get into some Nintendo discussion.
I think I watched it like 20 times yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it my alarm clock song on my iPhone, so it's just whenever I wake up in the morning, it's just Pika, or what was it like? Pikachu. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like so inspiring.
Pikachu.
There was lyrics on the bottom.
Pikachu.
Wait till they get translated.
Well, I think it was just Pikachu. But yeah.
Oh, I don't know why they have subtitles then. But yeah, I think though, Zach, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
This is gonna be another good one today.
Yeah, Steve Harvey always says.
I'm your host, Kazarisk, and as always, we got another good one for you today, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We are an all Nintendo podcast that posts each and every week on youtube.com/Koppai Gaming, as well as SoundCloud and iTunes, and now also on Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, and other various podcast services as Koppai Podcast. Each week we discuss the games we're playing in a segment called Play and Tell, as well as a Nintendo news segment called the Nintendo Pipeline. Then we jump into the topic of the show and round everything out with Pokemon discussion and a little fun game. Sometimes it's 20 questions, sometimes it's Would You Rather, sometimes it's that's all we've done so far. Yep. But maybe one day we'll do other things. Leave comments down below of what you would like, or if you're watching on or listening on iTunes and Stitcher, tweet at us at Koppai Gaming. Today, our topic of the show will be the latest Pokemon trailer, which revealed new Pokemon, forms of previous Pokemon, and way more. In the Pokeblock, we're going to be discussing some leaked final evolutions of Pokemon. But don't worry, that's later in the show. We won't be spoiling or anything for you. We're going to give plenty of spoiler warnings when we get to that segment. So if you don't want to know what the final evolutions are, you can tune out for that spot, and join us later for 20 questions. But yeah, if you like what you hear, if you like the sound of my voice, if you like the sound of Zach's voice, Zach say things people can decide.
Hello. Hi.
If you like that, be sure to leave us a review or head over to patreon.com/Koppai Gaming, where you can get each episode a week early, as well as monthly exclusives and an entry for the Nintendo NX in a giveaway. All of that is just $1. So you pay us $1, you subscribe to Koppai, and boom, you get early episodes and exclusives, hours and hours and hours of content.
Infinite love.
I mean, if you work part-time, you make $9 an hour. I mean, you're trading 1 hour of work or I guess it's like 10 minutes of work for hours and hours and hours and hours of content. It's a good trade.
Yeah.
Labor to fun, as I like to say.
Yeah.
The labor to fun ratio is on point. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and share, and also follow us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, and leave us a review. If we get enough reviews, then we'll be featured by iTunes and Stitcher. We need 5 reviews on Stitcher, and I don't know how many we need on iTunes to get featured, but more the merrier.
If I can guess the number that you're thinking of right now, you will like this video and you will share it with all your friends. It is 6.
I was going to say 7, so.
Wow. Okay, it was 7. So if you were
what?
thinking 7, then like and share this with all your friends.
It was 6. I was thinking 7. It was 7. You were so quick on that. But yeah, all supporters that follow us on YouTube or whatever are entered to win a monthly amiibo, like Hayden did and won.
Hayden.
And also, if we get all these reviews, we get more publicity. If you watch on YouTube and you do listen to the show regularly, even if you don't listen on iTunes, go ahead and hop over there and leave us a review. It means a lot to us, and it helps us out. But I think with all that being said and done, the house cleaning is a go. The house is clean, everything's fine. Let's start off Koppai Podcast, episode 33, with a little bit of play and tell. In this segment, we talk about the games we've been playing. If you want to engage in the conversation, be sure to comment down below with what you've been playing. And if you're listening to the snippet on YouTube and you want to get the whole show early, as I've said, you can head over to patreon.com/Koppai Gaming. Zach, you've been playing a whole bunch of Zelda's Awakening Nintendo DX, correct?
Yeah, that sounds right. I think that's right. I think that's what I've been playing.
It's close enough. Zelda's the main character.
Right, yeah.
He's the little boy that wears green.
Yeah.
He wakes up on a beach, I believe, and he goes and climbs the mountain.
Was that a beach, or was...
He wakes up on the beach, and he climbs to the top of the mountain. I haven't played...
It's all coming back to me now. Actually, I think this guy's name was Zach on the beach, not Zelda. But, because they've been calling me Zach the whole game, so I don't know what happened there. But, so it's called Zach's Awakening Deluxe. It's really called Link's Awakening Deluxe, in case everybody's fooled right now.
Someone's confused out of their mind. They're like, what game are they talking about? I don't know.
Zach's Awakening? What? He has his own game? No, it's Link's, it's Link's Awakening Deluxe. It is, of course, the Game Boy Color version of the Game Boy game, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Yeah, it's kind of like the Super Mario Deluxe, even though that was already color, but it was just made smaller. They added some more things.
Sounds worse.
Yeah, it is actually a little worse in some regards, but other ways it's really cool too. But yeah, Link's Awakening Deluxe. I'm not sure. I think they added color. They added some little other changes to it too. I think to spice it up. But I am loving it so far. I'm a little over halfway through. And the Miyamoto influence in it is incredible. I've never seen some of the things like this in a Zelda game before. Which I think Chain Chomps,
Mario, plumbers, Bowser
elements. Yeah. Princess Peach is figures going to rescue. I mean, it's really crazy. I think actually I'm maybe just playing Super Mario World, but no, it's awesome. My biggest complaint with it actually is the 2-button scheme can get a little newsome. Is that a word?
It's a little dated. It's a little.
Yeah,
because nowadays on controllers we have buttons on buttons on buttons.
Exactly. And this, you get to the point late in the game where you have built up a vast array of these really cool items, but you
find the amount
yourself,
of games on the 3DS.
Yeah, the vast library, of course. But you are constantly like switching from the boots to the feather to the claw thing that helps, or the power bracelet. And so like, even mid-boss battle sometimes, you'll have to be pausing every few seconds to switch your items because different items will have a different advantage at certain parts of the battle. So it can get a little bit complex in that way, which that's my biggest complaint, but I don't know, something about it also can feel a little rewarding when you figure out like the perfect flow of it. It's not too much of a complaint, I'd say, with the game where it really detracts it from being an amazing experience for me. So I think it's kind of nitpicking a little bit when I'm trying to look for things that are necessarily maybe a little wrong with it. But otherwise, like, it's basically perfect. I love kind of how, nowadays we've had the influx of like Shovel Knights and going back to the indie. It's really cool to see the sprite design, the creativity for certain things, like when you see certain animals or certain elements that they have to use like limited technology to make.
Yeah, that's always fun.
It's really cool in that way. I'm really excited to play a ton more of it.
This makes me wonder, because we have talked about you playing it this week and stuff, and I've been referencing Link's or Oracle of Seasons a lot. I played that on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Pretty recently, like within the past year or so, I bet.
Right.
And I think I played it actually right after I finished Link Between Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
is this, cause you were kind of on you had a Zelda hunger. I think a lot of people do right now have like this kind of Zelda thirst because of Breath of the Wild's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Are you going to kind of is this going to be like a one and done thing? Are you going to hop into the other 2D Zelda games? Do you have like any on the horizon that you want to play? Like, do you want to play the Oracle games next, maybe after this? Do you want to progress to like Minish Cap or?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was actually a huge debate to me if I was going to go into the Minish Cap or this one. And I kind of wanted to start, I guess, in a little more, origin of the franchise kind of base, rather than jumping like a little more late into the franchise, because I have beaten like Ocarina of Time, I've beaten A Link Between Worlds. I think those are basically, I almost beat the very first one. I played a lot of Wind Waker, almost beat that, got like end game of that, but still need like in the HD. No, actually that was the GameCube one that I got super end game. In the HD one I never got quite as far in. But I need to, I was kind of thinking starting the franchise, because I've never really played through the Oracle games, like I said, or A Link to the Past even. So it was kind of the first title that I saw in a line of like the Oracle games and moving on past that. So my next step with it, I guess, is maybe Minish Cap, because of that I was initially debating that. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Oracle games right afterwards. They're very, very similar. And I don't know if I want to do that necessarily, but they're also kind of at different development, because I think Capcom had a lot of influence over those games. So I don't know, it'd be an interesting experience. I'm sure I want to eventually get to those games. I own both of them on the 3DS. But I was also considering A Link to the Past. I also really need to finish Majora's Mask 3D. So there's a lot of Zelda options for me. I really want to one day beat Zelda 2, because I've never really played much of that.
My goal is to have all the Zeldas beat by the time Breath of the Wild comes out.
Yeah, and I'd like that too. That was kind of, Krista, in one of the recent Nintendo Minutes, they did a little like Let's Play of her going through and starting Link's Awakening, because it was one of those that she'd never played, and it's such a classic, iconic game, you know? It's like one of them, like for Koppai especially, like I felt it was a little bit criminal that I had not played and experienced through Link's Awakening. You know, as a Nintendo, like, supposed to be an expert on Nintendo, I really want to get through some of these games that, to help my expertise grow, you know? Like, I don't claim to actually be, like, a Nintendo expert. I think I have expertise on it, I guess, as another way of phrasing that, but, I'm always looking for ways to expand that. So I think that was also a big decision of, like, where do I go next? I'm trying to get through some really iconic games, so maybe Zelda might not even be necessarily my next choice, the game that I really get deep into. I was also considering trying to finish Mario RPG, because I got pretty far into that, and that's really been on my mind a lot lately, to get Mario RPG going again and really trying to finish that, because I got stuck on a puzzle in that game at one point, and it was like I kind of gave up, but it was so good. I was enjoying it so much that I really want to go through and finish that. We were kind of discussing like Dream Team and stuff. And so like there's a lot of options. It's like my backlog. I've been kind of just trying to knock out some of the things in my backlog. I wouldn't say it's
kind of a dry year.
Yeah.
As far as like
it's perfect
really
for that.
Like, cause not necessarily a dry year as far as like games coming out, but like, as far as a dry year is like those kind of platform games, you know what I mean? Where,
right.
You know, a few years ago we had like Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Grand Theft Auto, like these games that you pick up and you play them for a long time. And this year we've had several games, but they're all kind of like one and done experiences and stuff, which is fine,
right.
But it's just like, it's a good time to just be playing a lot of games in kind of shorter spurts. And so, yeah, I think that's my goal, is to tackle a lot before the NX comes out and kind of be caught up in time for the NX. So it's just like when the NX comes out, it's all new games. But speaking of backlog, a game that was in my backlog was Yoshi's Woolly World. And by golly, this game, 10 out of 10, masterpiece title.
Wow.
I picked it up.
The Koppai Gold, as we would say.
Koppai Gold, as we used to say, and I've never said since. No, I picked it up when it came out in October. I think you got me some of the Yarn amiibo for like my birthday in October.
Yeah.
And I think I may like treated myself and got it for myself for my birthday. Cause I think you got me a couple other games, I think. But yeah, so I got that, and I remember I had picked up the version without the amiibo, so then I had to rebuy it or something. But then I had it, and I think I did not open it until we did Koppai on Air in May. So I had Yoshi's Woolly World for months, like half a year, and never opened it. And I don't know why. I think it was because like I still had Super Mario Maker, I think.
Yeah.
And so I didn't I was playing that shortly after Fallout came out. Like it was just such a bad time for release. We were kind of talking about like how for Europe and Japan it came out in the summer, and it's a perfect summer game. It's so happy and light and colorful that with the open windows, it just feels right. Like, you play a game like, I don't know, Uncharted or these heavy story games where you really want to close the windows, close the blinds, and be in this cinematic world. And with this game, like, I have my windows all the way open, and the blinds are open, and the lights are on, and I'm chilling on the couch, and it's all bright and happy, and I'm playing Yoshi's Woolly World, and it just feels right. Like, one of the games I always think of also with that was like South Park: The Stick of Truth. It was like a perfect summery time game where it's just like it felt like you were just exploring this world, and it was summer and bright and happy. Like these games with just so much color. And one thing I really want to note to this, like we don't need to spend too much time on it. It's been out for quite a while, so if you haven't played it, that's the big thing to take away from this is go play it. It's like $30 right now, I think, to get the game at most retail stores. And so super cheap, way worth it, because I've put 10 hours into the game and I'm on the second world, which, I mean, there's probably 5 or 6 worlds usually, I think, with a game like this. I think it says there's 5, but there's probably going to be some extra world and maybe even a special world beyond that. You just never know with these Nintendo games. But I mean, even if it's only 5 and I'm at 10 hours with World 2, that's 10 hours per world for me. I'm going to be playing this game for probably like 30 hours at least, and, it's the reason it's taken so long is because there's so many collectibles per level. There's 20 collectible coins, 5 yarn balls, 5 flowers, and also 20 hearts, but you get hearts by collecting health. And so if you get hit, you lose hearts, so you can't beat the level with 20 hearts. So you have to go through flawlessly while getting all these collectibles. And it's just insane that there's so much depth to it while also being such an accessible game because it has so many mellow modes and badges and perks. And it is pretty easy. Yoshi can hover infinitely in this game. He doesn't stop hovering. And so, I mean, there's just these little things and quirks and mechanics that just make it so perfect. And even the attention to detail as far as the enemy design, the craft items, how they make everything within this idea of it's all yarn, it's all, I don't know, it's just perfect. And so even the thumbnail image, if you're watching on YouTube, it's the water level, and you have these there's crabs that are made out of little pinch purses with scissors for the crab hands, and it's who would think of that?
It all has this very handmade sort of warm touch to it that really makes you feel kind of homey and cozy. I feel you can feel just the love and care oozing from it because it feels like every stitch was kind of put by some Nintendo hand or something,
Yeah, it's Good Feel Studio. They're behind Wario Land, Shake It, Kirby's Epic Yarn. They've assisted with Mario & Luigi Dream Team, and they've done some Street Pass games. I'm so excited for their next game, and it makes me want to go back and play Kirby's Epic Yarn because I never played that. Mm-hmm. But it's that's probably next on my list almost actually after this is.
Yeah, I hear it's really good. I really need to play that one too.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. There's level design and anything that I just think is unrivaled in the gaming world. As far like if people think gameplay is king, then this game is like one of the 7 kings. Like it's just phenomenal. And so nothing but praises for the game. And I think it may have been missed by a lot of people, which is why I'm kind of pushing for it so much in this podcast. Because even though it's been out for a while, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of people like me out there that maybe have it picked up, or maybe they've thought about picking it up and they just never got around to it. Now's the time. Like, pick it up before the summer's over. Hang out with it. There's like really no Wii U games this holiday season, so go ahead and pick it up on the cheap. Grab the amiibo. It's also a very fun game if you have a big amiibo collection. It feels like one of those first games where it's like, oh, this is something I can use almost all of my amiibo for. Like, DLC characters and Pokemon characters don't work in it from Smash, but and I don't know. I would assume the Wild Bee and all
we talked
that.
about that, about the whole Pokemon thing with Woolly World and how that was kind of interesting, like that they were out of that. Mm-hmm. And the Mario Kart thing too. I think we kind of discussed that, but basically every single amiibo, and like what other game is like that? So
I mean, I scanned it. I was so surprised. I scanned in Mega Man, just like, no way is he gonna work. And it made my Yoshi all blue with little red cheeks. And it, the Sonic one I've been using a lot because it looks like he has like little shoes and stuff. I think today I played with the Link amiibo costume, and I did Bowser the other day, and he has like little teeth and stuff. And so, really, really adorable style in that way. Fun for co-op. So if you have, anyone really you want to play with, like, you can have someone of like any skill level. It's one of those games I'm going to want to dust off when I have a kid or something and be like, let's play Woolly World together, because I can just plow through it, but they can have fun kind of hopping along and going through all the stuff. And if they die, I just get them out of the egg and we keep going. Like, there's really no punishment for death.
Yeah.
So it's just, the game is completely designed around the aspect of having fun.
It is so universal. It's really crazy,
Yeah. And so definitely, like, highest recommendation. I'm like very bummed it's taken me this long to get to it, but at the same time, I'm so happy I've tackled it now in the summer when I did, like, so I can just enjoy it and kind of plow through it, just experience it, not kind of just binge Yoshi's Woolly World. I think it's a perfect time for it.
Some other games. Well, real quick, I was just gonna say, like, it makes me really excited for another good feel game. Like, I wonder what they're up to and what is going to come next from them, because now I'm like really looking forward to, like, now they have a track record of some really, really good games.
Yeah, so far they haven't really let us down from what I've heard. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at their Wikipedia page. Really no information on what they're doing next. It's just, I think
they're kind of secretive in that way. Like, we didn't really know Yoshi's Woolly World, anything about it, until we kind of got that initial kind of epic yarn more looking reveal, like, a long, long time ago. And now, and then we finally got like a re-reveal that had the redesign and everything when they were kind of really ready to go with it. So, I think that they're just kind of secretive, just like all Nintendo, they are with these major IPs and stuff, and Mario and Pikmin and Zelda. They make sure when they're ready to say something about it and let us know, they'll let us know. It's not just going to be like in some random interview, we're working on some new Metroid yarn game that's,
I mean, I wouldn't mind though if that becomes their niche, if that becomes their style, that like they take these maybe popular IPs and kind of mold them into this whole aspect of yarn and crafts, like kind of building and this tug and pull. Like, I wouldn't mind a sequel to the Yoshi thing, like that. There seems like they could pull out more ideas. I wouldn't mind like a Mario kind of platformer where you could like really run and jump and wall jump and go off, but it's all kind of yarn based, Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
I'm trying to think of like any other kind of like
Mario
franchise.
Definitely needs the treatment, I think. I would feel like that'd be perfect because it just got so much character, and it's already kind of linked to this world, and it would be a unique way to portray Mario that we've just never really seen, which he is kind of running out of unique ways to be portrayed. So I feel like that or a super claymation sort of thing with Mario would be really.
What would be really legit is if claymation would be they should do a claymation of Earthbound.
Yeah,
that
that'd
had
be
like
awesome.
their original art for that was all clay based. Oh, that'd be legit. Well, there you go. That's what they have. That one's for free. I'll tweet at them. They'll understand it because like their whole Twitter. I'm looking at their Twitter and it's all Japanese. Like they are 100% a Japanese developer. Other games I've been playing though, Yoshi's Woolly World has been my primary, like, that's what I'm playing mostly at nights.
Right.
I did pick up, I've already owned Gunman Clive. Last week that was kind of your game of the show for what you've been playing.
Yeah.
I picked it up. I've been loving it. I've been playing through the first one. I just went ahead and jumped right into hard difficulty because I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Let's just go for it. And it's been super hard.
Yeah.
Very Mega Man, very cool art style. It's like $2 on the eShop, so you should definitely go get it if you love Mega Man and if you love kind of old school games.
Very Western vibe, but then it also kind of switches it up a lot too. So it's like there's unexpected
the boss
moments.
designs are super epic. It reminds me a lot of what I think Cuphead's going to end up being. This whole
Cuphead's going to be way next level, I feel, but
yeah. I mean, Cuphead though seems like it's going to be like it's just kind of that same
that illustrative animation, just like kind of seamless almost feel where you can't really tell if is this like an animation or is this a like separate split up sort of programmed boss? How is this all working, kind of thing. Like how do they do this?
Yeah, it's really creative. It's like this 2.5D like hand drawn stuff, so it's just really unique kind of experience. The Western music's on point, and it feels very satisfying when you beat a stage. Like when you hit stage clear, it's like that old school NES. Like I've beat the stage, thank goodness.
Yeah, it's so good for pick up and play. Like
definitely,
just hop in, play a quick level.
Yeah,
or try it.
Super cheap. So if you want if you want a game to have on your 3DS, just constantly there digitally, that's a good game to pick up. I've also I played a little bit of the Monster Hunter Generations demo. I exited out of it like 2 minutes in. I did not like it at all.
Yeah, probably. That's interesting that they have a demo of it and stuff because I just hear it's super, super complex of a game. I still have I opened my Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate that I bought for the new 3DS or whatever.
I didn't even know you bought it.
Or it utilizes the new 3DS sort of C-Stick. But yeah, I've had that for about a year now and haven't played it, haven't opened it. But because I hear it's kind of daunting, that's kind of been what has been putting me off where I feel like if I'm going to get into Monster Hunter, I am going to have to get into Monster Hunter. I'm going to have to, learn it, put dozens of hours into figuring it out, how it all works to make it feel good because I just hear that it's one of those games that if you play Monster Hunter, that's what you play. It's kind of like if you're going to be good at Smash Brothers, that's what you play. If you're going to be good at Street Fighter, that's what you play. These competitive games or these games that are super deep and complex, like if you want to be on top of the Pokemon competitive scene, you really got to be researched on all of your Smogons and all these theories and competitive team balancing, you got to be up on it. And this is kind of one of those games that's like super, super deep and has a really dedicated cult following fan base sort of thing, like really big in Japan and stuff. So I don't know. It just seems a little bit like putting a demo on the eShop of it when it's such a kind of daunting franchise.
Turned me off from it. Like it was like, oh, gross. Like, I don't want to play this. Like, cause I don't think it was really visually appealing at all. And it seems super like just overwhelming. And I'm like, when am I going to want to get into this? Like, when am I going to have the time for this? Like, that was enough of a confirmation in my mind that I don't want to do that. That being said, I do understand there probably is an appeal for it. It just wasn't for me at this time. I have so much other stuff to play that I don't have time to get into Monster Hunter Generations. It did seem like a pretty fun place to start. Like, it seemed like it'd be a good place to get into it. Like, with all the games that are out there, Generations seems like a good one to maybe just hop into. But yeah, so there's that demo available though on the eShop.
It seems it would be better if we both owned a title, and we went on some monster hunts together.
Yeah.
And tried to figure it out together versus just kind of independently playing it or whatever. So.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Get it. we'll have to coordinate that. Our budgets.
I already have Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, so
Sounds like
I need it.
I mean, generations, man.
But it's probably cheaper.
Whatever, man. No, I gotcha. Other games I've been playing before we kind of end out this podcast. Well, not the podcast, this segment.
Goodbye, everybody.
I played a lot of Nintendo Land last night with my wife. She has her friend in town, so we kind of played that after dinner. It was super fun. Just in case you forgot about Nintendo Land. It is really fun and worth checking out if you got it with your Wii U or something.
Yeah, well, it's still fun playing, like, sometimes busting out the old Wii Sports, you know. One time, Kayla's parents were over, and I think this was, like, at Thanksgiving or something, we had them over, and we just put in Wii Sports and played some bowling. And
don't they have, like, an HD version now, too, or something? Like,
maybe. Well, I think that it was just the one that standard came with my Wii. I still have it. And so it's like we just plugged that in, but they'd never really experienced that before, so they were like just constantly laughing and having so much fun. And
well, yeah, we were like crying in laughter because we did the one where you have to you have the little Animal Crossing people eating up the candy, and then one person plays as the guards, like on the gamepad and stuff, so they can kind of see everywhere. And I'm like chasing after my wife, and she has like all the candies in her mouth, so she's like walking really slowly, and I'm like, I'm gonna get ya. It's just like this super like, and they have my face up on the screen because it uses the Wii U camera, so I'm like, like getting really up close to it. And we also did like the Luigi's Mansion Ghost one where like they can't see where the ghost is, and it's just like, it's such a fun party game that like really can't be done with any other controller scheme. Like you need someone else with a different controller that has its own screen. It's like, what a beautiful way to use the gamepad, and it was literally the first game out for the Wii U. And I don't know how it got so missed by people. I think it was just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because it was being compared to Wii Sports and it was on that same caliber, but it was still so fun. And
or by that time, the Wii had kind of fallen off a lot, and people were like, you know, maybe a rehash of like Wii gimmicks. Like, why we don't, like, at that time, maybe they wanted, where's our new Mario, where's our Metroid, where's all this, like, we want you guys to kind of come back, because at the end of the Wii life, it had kind of gone down, and then they kind of just, we're continuing the Wii with the Wii U, and people were like, is this even a new console? What's going on here? So, yeah, they kind of really failed at that, I feel like, and maybe, I don't think people really wanted Nintendo Land at launch or something. You know. Yeah.
But been playing lots of Earthbound because of Stranger Things. I'm only like an hour into it, so I don't really have too many impressions to share, but it is a perfect game to play like if you want that Stranger Things vibe where it's like kids on an epic adventure, you know, with mysterious things happening. So definitely cool to kind of scratch that nostalgia 80s itch. And then obviously we've been playing more Pokemon Go, more cunning stunts on Grand Theft Auto Online. And you've been playing some Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah.
I want to play much of it, I don't think. But
No. I wanted to play some more, and I'll probably comment on it again more in depth in a future episode.
That'd be good. Yeah.
But it's really cool, and it's basically like Fire Emblem Pokemon. That's like
I wonder.
my basic summary.
Is it? It's because you're playing the DS version, right? Like it's not on the. Is it on the Wii U shop?
I don't believe so, but that'd be really cool if they released it.
Yeah.
I ordered it online a long time ago off of Amazon, I believe, and it was, I think, fairly inexpensive.
You can get it brand new for $75.
Oh, dang. It's gone up, I think.
I got it pretty cheap. It's available for $75. Must have gone up or something. It is available new and used. Let me check real quick. Yeah, if you want it with Prime, you can get it in good or acceptable condition for about $32.
Yeah.
Very good is in the 40s. Like new is 55. So it is getting pretty expensive.
It's what's really cool about it. I'll just comment briefly. Is like, it seems like it has a super long campaign. It has like 19 sort of gym or trial like sort of experiences that you have to go through, 16 like different cities or regions to beat the leader of that region. So it goes on for a really long time, and it's very much based like Pokemon. You're like in a region, you go out in the wild and have to train with wild Pokemon. You get Pokemon companions, and I don't know, I haven't got too far into it to know necessarily you like catch them with Pokeballs and stuff. But I know that you get these companion Pokemon that join your team. And basically, it's like a Final Fantasy Tactics or a Fire Emblem. I don't know what I was merging those in there, but where instead of like you and your characters on the battlefield, it's your Pokemon on the battlefield, like a top-down sort of isometric tactics, turn-based Pokemon battle. That's just really, really cool if you're a fan of like those types of games, which like even like a Civilization kind of, and the Advance Wars series, like all those kinds of great games. If you're really into those strategy titles, it's like combining that with Pokemon, and it's such a perfect fusion that it works so well, and it really scored high. Like IGN gave it like I think 9 or 9.5 out of 10. So like they really liked it. Like it's really well reviewed. It's not just me saying that. So yeah, everybody, I think that's kind of a less talked about Pokemon game, and I definitely want to talk about it like in a Pokeblock in the future or something.
Yeah, definitely. No, I just checked. It's not available on the Wii U as a DS Virtual Console game. They do have quite a bit. They have like the Mystery Dungeon games, Pokemon Pinball, the Pokemon Ranger games, Pokemon Snap, and Pokepark Wii are on the Wii U. And then obviously like the Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow trading card game and puzzle are on the 3DS, but no Conquest. So you're gonna have to shell out a ton of money if you want it new, or you can. There was a place online that was selling it for about $20, but that was used as well. So